I went into politics because I wanted to get Britain out of the European Union. That was my overarching view. I read a book, Rise and Fall of Great Powers by Paul Kennedy, and he introduced me to the idea that the reason for European success over 400 years was the idea that it lacked any central unifying political authority. In Hayekian terms, it allowed for what Hayek would call evolutionary rationalism rather than constructive rationalism. In other words, trial and error. Everyone's familiar with the idea that the United States has 50 different states and it's a laboratory. Different states can try different approaches, and this is why America is such a success story. Europe used to be like that. Europe used to be a mosaic of different entities trying different approaches to different things, and this is why Europe dominated 400 years of human history. It's why the Industrial Revolution happened in Europe and not China. It's why Europe ended up dominating the globe culturally, economically, technologically, and in all sorts of ways. The European Union is the death knell of Europe because it subverts that tradition of and creates a central political authority. It creates a sort of Ming class of, in China, you famously had the Ming elite who stifled innovation and reduced a country with very smart people and a lot of cultural innovation to being a cultural backwater. You're seeing the emergence of a Mandarin Ming class in Europe, the European Commission in Brussels, and they're successfully destroying Europe. It's why, in the course of my lifetime, Europe has gone from being about 40% of global GDP to about 15% of global GDP. It's why Europe is basically a sort of giant version of Venice, a museum which foreign language students will visit to marvel at past glories. But yeah, Europe has failed to produce any significant innovation in the past 30 years.